Jimmy K here, Metal Voice. Look at this. The Metal Voice shirts are now on sale. Just go to the video description to find out on how you can purchase one. Metal! Welcome to the Metal Voice. Today on the show, singer, frontman Chuck Billy from Testament with their new album, Titans of Creation, going to be released April the 3rd on Nuclear Blast. Right, Chuck?
That's right. Yeah, April 3rd, Titans of Creation.
Yeah, exciting. Great album. I heard it. I love it. It's got a little bit of everything for everyone, I guess. Is that correct?
Yeah, I would say that. It's a good statement. It's definitely a diverse record. The songs, there's a definitely an array of songs that all have their own identity, stand out on their own. So it's definitely a diverse record.
All right, and we'll also talk about your health, but I want to talk about the new album first, okay? That's cool with you?
Sure.
Tell me about, there's some really, you're always very, I guess, creative when it comes to lyrical themes, right? Things like Code of Hammurabi and Hammurabi, sorry. Just give me a quick, understanding of what those lyrics are about.
Well, like that's basically the Code of Hammurabi is basically back Babylonian times. It's probably the first code of law back with eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. You get caught stealing, you get your hand cut off, It's kind of like takes it back to our first form of law. And it was kind of a topic Alex actually came up with that, and we kind of explored it and made it into a tune.
All right. What about a song like City of Angels? Like, it's Los Angeles, I would think, right?
Well, yeah, that song is basically about the Night Stalker. And the funny story about that song is actually I was trying my hardest for that song not to make the record. The whole writing process when I was getting that song, to me, it was, first of all, it was a long song. It was like, 7-8 minutes long. And it to me, it felt too slow and repetitive that to me, it wasn't the song that should have made the record. And so I had that stance all the way up to the end of the writing process. And when I was working with my friend Dell down in LA writing some songs, I played him that last song, and I said, I got one more song, but I really don't want it to make the record. And we listened to it once, and then he came back and he had this song called City of Angels that he had written already. And he says, here, why don't you try to just go through this? It's already written. Just see if it'll work it into this song. And we ran it again, and the song fit perfectly to the length of the song and the patterns. And I didn't really know how I was going to sing it. I just kind of tapped it out timing-wise, when I'd come in, when I'd end, when I'd take a breath, just kind of walk through it with the words. And it fit. And I was like, oh, shit, God damn it. All right, I'll give it a shot. And when I went back home the next day, I went to record it. And I didn't know how I was going to approach it or what voice I was going to use or anything. And I kind of just went through the first time through it and kind of just came with that different voice and different texture of a voice. And then when we got to the little bridge part, I laid down a nice vocal part, and then I tried to harmonize to it and add a third harmony. And I never do that kind of shit, but it was just like, we were like, let's just give it a try. And it was working. And all of a sudden it just started taking its own little life on right at that point, once we kind of were working our way through it. And at the end of the day, by the time we were finished, we were like, wow, I really wanted this song not to make the record. And now I kind of like it. Now I kind of hear it, where it's coming from. And it definitely gave a different dynamic and a different change of pace of a song on the record, for sure.
It's got a Sabbath vibe. Am I correct in this? It's got a nice...
Totally. Yeah. It's just real sludgy and just heavy and just, real dark. And I think when Dell first heard it, he was like, oh, dude, I love that song. And he had this song already ready to go.
Yeah.
And so we kind of it was one of them songs that I was fighting for it to not make it, and it found its way on the record. It turned out to be one of the better songs and a different song.
Were there a lot of tracks that didn't make it? Like, I mean, did you have any extra tracks that you thought, okay, let's
No,
not put them on?
we never have extra tracks. It seems like whenever we write a record, it's just enough songs for the record.
Hmm.
I think if you got old stuff and you're trying to rehash it years later when it's time to write a record again, I don't know, it's maybe not a good starting point, or there's a reason why it didn't make that last record. You know, um, so yeah, we write just what we want to release. We kind of set our goal to hopefully make a record anywhere from 50 minutes to an hour is a good length of a record.
Yeah. What about a song like Ishtar's Gate? Can you just describe that one?
Yeah, that one is really, when I first heard that song, it wasn't a typical metal riff for me. What inspired was just totally, wow, this is different. And I think the year before we actually went to Germany and got to see the gate in a museum,
Hmm.
and I think he was inspired by that, and we got to play in Israel. We all went to Jerusalem and got to go there to visit the gate there, and I think he just had that flavor, because that song definitely has a different flavor to it. And whenever we write songs, Eric always uses a word or something to reference it, just so we know which one it is. And that one was always kind of like the Gates of Ishtar, Ishtar's Gate. It always kind of was that. So when it came time to write it, I said, well, I've known this song for months now as Ishtar's Gate. Let's write it about the gate. So I dove in and then decided to go that route with it.
Sure.
And it really fit well, just the topic and the theme and the way the music works with it.
What about, I guess, Symptoms, which would be kind of, I don't know, similar to what's
Yeah,
happened today to you, right?
yeah,
I mean, it sort of
yeah. More appropriate
coincides.
what's going on.
Yeah.
Well, that one, Alex actually wrote that song. That's his riff, and he had pretty much that song pretty much structured, laid out, start to finish, when he submitted it, the song. And me and Zet actually wrote the song once, and when we let him hear it, he didn't care for it too much, so he heard it a different way. So he worked out the lyrics in the song and symptoms. And maybe it's just not what's going on with mental health, people we've lost over the last years due to mental health. I
Yeah.
think that was something that he was meaning, but, it's a little more appropriate what's going on now.
Yeah.
you
So, I
know?
mean, it's a good segue. It's a good segue, a
Yeah.
lot. And I told you this right before we started, so much love for you and your wife, you guys got hit by the, coronavirus. So just, I don't know, tell me what you can tell me, what you want to tell me, and, what happened.
Well, I mean, as far as the virus goes, like I said, we just made it out of Europe on the 12th. By the 14th is when we got home, of course, watched the news, and we were tired. We are just chilling at home, watching the news. At first, we're like, you know what, let's be proactive and call Kaiser, our doctors, and see where we can go get tested, just to be proactive. And then when we first talked to medical people, they were like, well, if you don't have symptoms, you can't get tested. We're like, well, here's what we've done for the last 5.5 weeks, and I think our exposure is pretty good. And so we were kind of fine at that point. And then as the days went by, we started feeling sick. And then by Sunday, we decided that's when let's call Kaiser again, tell them again what's going on. And that's when they recommended us going in. And by that point, we'd been in communication with other band members and other crew people and people from the other bands that traveled with us. And within that first 24 hours, it seems like a lot of us were sick with a lot of the same symptoms. So right away, we felt like, oh, great, we must have something. So,
What were your symptoms, if you don't mind me
that,
asking?
well, for me, I mean, my body just ached, headaches, achy, wiped out. And at first, I thought maybe it was just jet lag and traveling, but then it just came on like you knew, like you were sick, you just felt sick, and it didn't really let up. It was just a lot of not sleeping. I really didn't get the fever, just the coughing and the headaches, and just tired. Slept a lot. And then we got to take our test on Sunday. We did the drive-through test where you drive in the car, roll down your window, they swab you, and you're on your way. And that takes like 7 days to get your results. So from the time we tested till getting the results, we started feeling better towards the next weekend. Still not sick, but we definitely that headache and the tiredness and achy and just feeling really bad was starting to go away. And
were you scared, like, oh man, we're got to get a ventilator now? I mean, did you have?
Well, I mean, they said that. I noticed like the first day or two, it was definitely just walking to the bathroom and back. You were just huffing and puffing, and I was like, "Well, okay, could feel it," but it didn't get any worse. It wasn't bad enough where we just kind of just chilled. We weren't overexerting ourselves, and and then just took it easy. Got a lot of rest.
So I'm happy you're feeling better. That's good to know, man. That's good. It's good to know that, everybody, I guess the big fear is everybody who gets it is just going to end up in the hospital. I guess there's different versions of how your body reacts to it, right?
Yeah, it all depends how your body reacts and your health. I mean, my wife said, well, they feel like we're in pretty good health. So, maybe, just that's what it is. Just right away we isolated ourselves, quarantined, and just haven't left, and just riding it out and just feeling better as the days go on.
All right.
I think today is probably our most active day. Just we feel, we're up and out and trying to get out back and do some things where before we were just shut down, stuck kind of on the couch, just kind of riding it out,
I guess there's a break, a downtime. I mean, of course you're promoting the new album. Let's promote it as much as we can. But what's Testament going to do now? Are you guys still planning on touring, or? Yeah.
Well, we got to wait till they pull, the restriction on gatherings. Our tour in April, I'm sure, is going to be postponed. I don't think it's probably going to happen. And we haven't heard how the summer is in Europe yet, how that's going. But, everything's changing day to day. I don't think it's moved better yet. So let's just hopefully we start having better days and better results. And, I think I seen on the news today, like 112,000 people have recovered from it.
Yeah.
The virus. So, I mean, hopefully people need just to do the right thing and stay isolated as long as they can. I see people out on the news here, we're shutting down parks, recreational beaches, because people are ignoring it and they're just gathering at the beach like nothing, just like not keeping their space. So, just needs to be everybody to do their part.
Okay, well, that's important to tell everybody that, especially the younger generation who can't sit still, right? They just want to get out there, right? It's just for a short. Yeah. Trust me, we're having a hard time here with that.
Yeah.
So what else do you want to tell me about the new album? I guess that's my final question. Tell everybody.
Well, I mean, it's something I think that we really pushed ourselves, at least myself, out of my comfort zone on this record. The songs all really do have their own identity, and there's a lot of personal stuff on the record as far as song content.
Mm-hmm.
And that, it's one of the records that wasn't a pain in the ass like the last one. This was kind of enjoyed doing this record, and we're
was
world,
it?
I'm sure
Was
we'll
this
get out there play eventually,
I know you're talking about last record, like too much phoning it in, and this record, was it more of a band sort of recording it together, or how was that?
Well, it's just the last one was a 2-year process, where this one we took 9 months to get it recorded, written and recorded. So we really dove in a lot harder and had just a little more focused on this one.
Okay.
I think once we finished Brotherhood, I even told Eric, I still feel like maybe we could even write some more songs right now. We're still kind of fired up, so maybe just going into the new record cycle was kind of like we were ready for it and ready to dive in and see what we're going to come up with.
I guess this is my last question. Are you ready to write a new record after this one?
I mean, during these kind of times, why not get ahead
Yeah,
of the game if you can?
exactly. Yeah, yeah. Bank them, right? Put them in the
Why
bank,
not?
ready for next time.
Why not?
All right. How about documentaries or anything like that? Any plans? Like, it'd be a good time to start planning something like that.
Well, we started one a few years ago, and then it kind of got held up. So I don't know if we need to complete it. There's a lot of footage, travel around the world with us. We just haven't finished it. So a bunch of interviews need to be finished on it. So, but that's still in the works.
Maybe a book. I don't know.
That's probably cut down the line eventually. I'd like to do a book about the whole process I did with my Native American healers and stuff.
That's cool. Yeah, that's good. All right. Well, that's pretty much it. Chuck Billy, my guest on from Testament, new album. You got to pick it up because it's Titans of Creation. And I liked it. I enjoyed it a lot. I thought, especially if you're a thrasher, you'll enjoy it. But it's got a little bit of everything, especially a song like Dream Deceiver. Super melodic. And I love the vocal line. It's great.
Well, thanks, man. I hope everybody enjoys it as well.
All right. Have yourself a wonderful day. Stay healthy and stay safe.
All right. Thanks.
Say farewell to the future.